I get a lot of questions and messages asking me how I stretch my bow and arrow and my scorpion and all those different fun cheerleading positions. So I decided I was going to make a video to show you guys rather than type it out a bunch of different times. So here's that video, and pardon my ness. It's a hot mess. I just got done working out myself. I'm done with my workout for today and my stretching for today, but I'm going to go over it again. So here it is, and I hope you enjoy. Okay, so I start off with just going down to the middle, the left, and the right. It's really important you try to keep your back straight during this stretch. Try to use your arm muscles to pull you down to your knee rather than arching your back to get your head down to your knee. Then I just turn it to the other side. Same thing, try to keep your back straight. Think about trying to keep your shoulders back during the stretch as well. I turn it to the other side, same thing, back straight, shoulders back. Now I just stretch out my inner thigh. Then I'm just going to go ahead and turn it to one side, keeping one leg bent and one leg completely straight, not bending my knee. I'm thinking about bringing my hip into the ground. So now I'm going to kneel into my back leg, make my front leg straight, point my toe, and try to bring my upper body down to that front leg. Also keep your back really straight during this stretch. Now lean into that front leg and think about bringing your hip down into the floor. This is a really good stretch for your hip. I like to lean back during the stretch as well because it helps move my scorp later on. I'm going to fall into my splits now, trying to keep my legs parallel to each other and my hips perpendicular to my legs. If this is too easy, then bring that back leg up, but still try to keep your hips in place and your legs in place as well. And also make sure a guy walks in front of your camera. Also keep that back toe pointed. Next, I'll sit into that front leg, keeping my other leg straight and the toe flexed. I'm going to use my arm to push out that bent leg as well. Now let's take it to the other side. I'll just repeat everything on my right leg now. I did my left leg at first because it's my more flexible leg. I like to do that one first because I feel like if I can get that one as flexible as possible, then maybe my bad leg will have an easier time stretching. Last year sometime I was stretching without being properly warmed up, which I think is about one of the worst things you can do when it comes to stretching, and I actually tore my right hamstring pretty bad. It took me a while, but I've gotten it pretty flexible now, but I'm still working really hard to get back at total flexibility. You can tell my right split isn't really as great as my left split, but I'm still going to try to keep my hip and my legs in place. It's really hard to do this, but just try to do it a little bit more each time you stretch. I'm also going to bring that back leg up, but just for the purposes of the video. Normally I wouldn't do this on my right side just because I want to work on my straight split before I start overstretching it. Come on, get higher, loosen my lips, faith and desire in the swing of your hips. These are just a few extra stretches I do for my back and hamstring. If you're not really familiar with it, I would just say pause the video and take a look. But if you are, really keep that upper leg isolated and use your arm to pull it and stretch the hamstring. This stretch I like to do sitting up just because I'm too lazy to go on my back, but I'll show you on your back as well. Either way, you're going to put one leg on top of the other. If you're sitting up, use your arms on the ground to push your upper body into your leg. If you're doing the stretch laying down, then use your arms to pull in the knee of the leg that's still parallel to you. Also keep your back straight. When doing my wall splits, I like to bring my back leg a little further back so I can really push my hip into the ground, creating a bit of an overstretch. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, but because this leg is a little bit less flexible, I'm going to bend the top leg so it's easier. Now I'm going to turn my body to the outside. This is going to stretch my inner thighs and my middle splits. I'll show it to you on the right side as well. Everything works in your own